All right, all my little YouTube motherfuck faces. You're watching Validation Boy live stream, February 26th, 2026. It's been a long time, guys. And about 99.9% of you are going to end up seeing this after the fact, but that's okay. It's hard getting on here and saying something, knowing that I'm going to have to listen back to it later on, years later on, and be so embarrassed of myself for not knowing jack shit. I still leave the old stuff up, but when I listen back to some of it, I'm so embarrassed. I think that's why some people erase a lot of their videos. And I've erased tons of my own videos over the years, but I've stopped doing that. Shout out to Dan Pratt. Shout out to Jed. Shout out to D. Shout out to Tim Osman, the real Tim Osman. Shout out to John LeBon. Shout out to Vlad, if you're out there anywhere. Shout out to all you guys. Ed, upside down head, face. Wow. I'm going to go off camera. I got some crap I want to say. And the voice is more important anyways. So I've been thinking about things, going through life, going through my day-to-day life, living in the fucking world. And I see that there's this massive uptick in antiseptic discussion, if you will. And thank goodness there's a couple of safe terms that haven't been completely, shut down yet. Oh no. Twit from 2007 says, well. Wow. And like Jed was saying a while back, shit, man, you're years and years ahead of your time. You were saying this stuff years ago. And yeah, we'll get to that later. We don't even have a first 5 in the live yet. Imposter twit. You should have known it was the first, not the top. But yeah, I've noticed this massive uptick in people discussing this stuff. And I can't believe it. It's just trending now. And it's almost like the tides are turning. It's almost like, do these entities want wrath brought upon them because they're instigating so hard? And you all know exactly who I'm talking about. The fact that I can't say who I'm talking about defines exactly who I'm talking about, but I'm not going to say it, but you get it. And the bitter reality now is that people are starting to come to terms. I mean, it's not even a bitter reality. It's a beautiful thing, but the bitter reality still is that all the problems that you face as a Christian, really as a white Christian, all these problems can be traced directly back to them. Directly back. Almost everything. They hate you. They're made to vow a lifelong war on you from a very young age in secret as soon as they're indoctrinated into it. Okay? You're their number one enemy. They keep their friends close and they keep their enemies closer. It's in their official texts. It's their standard practice to do evil unto you. Standard practice. It's a Baal-inspired false commandment And in that, it's not only legal, but it's expected of their men and of their women to steal every possible thing that they can from you in your life, because all they've ever known is to be parasites, because they invent nothing other than the arbitrarily decided interest rate percentages that they charge you when they loan you their fake petro-slave dollars through their fake institutions. And listen to me. They fiend on making you suffer. Hours spent alive on earth where you're receiving signals from the world and perceiving your existence, the more minutes they can get where you are experiencing pain and suffering, the more they take pleasure. And we could pretend that there's some kind of separation between, the government and this and that, but their highest representatives don't really seem to think so. And that's kind of a perfect example of how inherent deception and manipulation are within these entities. Okay? And there's an uptick. There's a fucking uptick, guys. And it's gross, but they're literally aroused by your pain and suffering. Their fucking genitals literally perk up as they watch you suffer in your life while they live right next to you. They live a damn cheat code hacked life of excess right next to you. And it's their never ending unholy war against you. And they're satanic sorcerers, and they have nothing to do with your God. Hip hop, thug culture. Them. Introduced, created, fostered, perpetuated by them. The entire debt-based economy. Them. Perpetual inflation. Let's go down the list, guys. Perpetual inflation. LGFU 666 agenda. Feminism. Race-based, lopsided taxation. Documented. Anti-white Hollywood, which is really just anti-Christ Hollywood. If you understand what I'm saying. Sports. All the sports are fucking fake. They're all just as fake as WWE. Maybe not soccer so much over in Europe and over in the third world shitholes, mudholes. But any American sport, they're all just WWE, guys. And it's about gambling. And Pornhub, your favorite thing. Twit, your favorite thing. Welfare state communism, that's them. Self-hating white cuckism, leftism, that's them. The replacement agenda. The FDA approved poison food, yep. The pro-choice agenda, that's them. The Epstein files, oh no. CK 91025. A whole bunch of other CKs. Every single war in this country since 1700. The social media censorship that's basically deterred me from even existing on this platform anymore for years at a time, stretches at a time. Nailing you-know-who to a tree? No? Yes? Okay, I mean, nobody advocates for violence. Validation Board definitely doesn't advocate for violence, but physical removal is not violence. Taking back stolen goods is not violence. House to house, I don't know. Do it for real. Someone tried. There's been backup plans in place the whole time. Presidents have lost their lives. Bribery, blackmail, front organizations, Freemasons, Illuminatis. They're just fronts. They're just fronts. You know who's behind, you know who's at the top of all those. It's nothing mystical. Yeah, it's satanic, but not the way you think. It's roundabout satanic. Those clubs, you know, people say there's a little bit of sexual deviance going on in there. And that's what they're really all about. And that's how the temptation works. The temptation gets used, puts all those, you know, white elites or whatever into compromised positions. And those white men have been failures because they've been cuckolded by the demonic entities. And there's an uptick. Everyone's starting to figure all of this out. It's just widespread. People are just scared to just take it to that final level, that next level, you know? And when I say final, I'm not talking about the way other people handled final things. That was excessive. I think that there's a place that's been set aside in this world, and it's a place for this group. And this group has every right to go there. And maybe it's time. Maybe it's time they establish. And if they're so awesome, you know, who wants to stop them? But yeah, these past men who've been compromised by these demonic entities, they were failures. And then you got, you know, Roman Catholic stooges out here like Nick Fuentes trying to claim that there's some kind of new generation of young white men who are here now. And they're going to fix the errors and the failures of the founding father cuckolds, right? But I doubt that's ever going to happen. Thanks to V worship. It's not going anywhere. Simpertonville, America, the West, even India. It's just Simp Town. It's worldwide. It's V worship. And the irony of a Catholic cuck who does his 10 Hail non-Jesuses to beg for salvation, claiming to advocate for the return of an authentic hard patriarchy, it's a little bit outlandish at this point, guys. It's kind of priceless, but it is a little bit outlandish. And, you know, something I've been puzzled by is how is it that all of the neighbors don't just in secret decide that, hey guys, one day in the future, let's keep a secret amongst ourselves. One day in the future, we're all going to get together and we're all going to go from 0 to 100 in about 5 seconds. And we're going to go until the mission is accomplished and the problem is fully solved once and for all. And we're going to take losses, but we're going to actually eradicate the cancer cell from the organism once and for all at whatever cost it may take. I just don't see how that hasn't happened. I'm not necessarily advocating for it, but just imagine a world, as Timmy Osmond would say, just imagine a world where something like that took place. You know, everybody would benefit immediately. And what would the big red, white, and blue fucking bear, what would it really do? What would we really fucking do about it? Yeah. Well, it's like, oh no, you guys fucking eliminated the fucking satanic parasite we wanted to fucking remain economically and culturally enslaved to for fucking eternity. Oh no. I just don't get it. Everybody would benefit, but I just don't understand how it hasn't happened. I'm definitely not advocating for it though. But, you know, you want to talk about Tucker Carlson twit? Okay. I don't know. It's kind of hopeless. We got nothing but cuckolds and fucking, and I'm so glad that term fucking came back now. But we do. We have nothing but fucking cuckolds and losers on the conservative side. We got Tucker Carlson. We got Dan Bongina, who I never even gave a fuck about, but this one guy, Heavy Duty Country, calls him Dan Bongina, so that's funny. And to me, he looks like he's a cop, a former cop, and maybe with some issues in his closet. But I can't even say that for sure. I haven't watched nearly enough of that guy, so I really don't know. But that guy sucks. You got Candace. She fucking absolutely is trash, just complete fucking garbage. Only like I don't know. That's like conspiracy shit like that Timmy used to talk about. She's super cuck. All right. And then you got CK, whatever. Erica, like, come on, bro. That just even furthers my point of everything I was talking about earlier. Everyone knows it's just a massive trend now. Yeah. And you'd say, oh, maybe Candace is responsible for some of that. But I don't know. I think these entities are like instigating and bringing the retaliation upon themselves, or they're trying to. It's almost like they want the old G slide to fucking happen all over again, but in a new land, in a new motherly land instead of a fatherly land, if you get what I'm saying. And it's like, why? Do they think that they have the power? They can be the ones that spark God's wrath and bring on Armageddon and bring on the apocalypse? Twit says Candace Owens is a Catho cuck lunatic. I feel bad saying that because I know I have listeners who are Catholic. But guys, 10 hail non-Jesuses, bro. 10 hail non-Jesuses, okay? That's all I got to say, man, okay? Say your 10 hail non-Jesuses. Okay, anyway, so you got CK, you got Nick fucking Fuentes, okay? And I've heard about him for years. I'd seen him a long time ago. I don't care, whatever. He's just some guy. Okay, I started actually listening to him like out of nowhere and then immediately very consistently, starting a couple weeks or month or something before he went on to the Piers Morgan show. Something triggered me to watch him then. It was a lot of people jumped onto Nick then at the same time that I did. But it was before he did all this dramatic shit that he's done recently. And I'm sitting there listening to Nick Fuentes, night after night after night. And I'm like, man, I feel like I'm listening to Validation Boy live stream August 2018 or something. It's pretty ridiculous. Once again, VB's fucking years ahead of his fucking time. And now he's catching on, and at this point, I've kind of abandoned listening to him because I got everything I needed from him. He's kind of become a parody of himself within just the short time that I've been watching him. He's kind of run the emotional gamut and become a parody of himself at this point. And it's okay because Nick Fuentes did bring up a good point one time. There's this whole thing about the Khazars, and it's this conspiracy theory that I'm neither condoning nor condemning. But the conspiracy is that this group of Central Asian sheep herders adopted a certain religion and then now claim to be the people of that religion. And some people think that that's a nefarious thing. Others think, oh, that's commonly known history. It's not even a big deal or a conspiracy or nefarious in any way, shape, or form. So there's nothing to be worried about talking about it, And then others say, no, because those people have hijacked. And then some people call it the synagogue of you-know-who. And it's all really unclear now because Nick Fuentes fucked me up. He made a really good point. He said, this certain group wants you to think that these outsiders from Central Asia have now adopted and hijacked their presence, hijacked their name, hijacked their legacy. Because then if that's so, then this group of people that's currently allegedly pretending to be this group are not guilty of nailing your God to a piece of wood, basically. And it's a real mind fuck when you think about it that way. It's something to consider. And I'm sure Dan Pratt is already way, way, way past that in knowledge and is probably sitting here listening, laughing right now with a grin on his face. Yeah, and I know Twit fucking Nick NJF is Catholic too. I know. But yeah, So that's one thing, and I've already almost abandoned him. I'll go back and listen here and there if I hear he's doing something cool. But it's kind of disgusting because he had this run of excellent shows, or pretty good shows, and then this whole I guess he's gay. I'm not sure. It doesn't matter. Whatever. This guy clavicular like model who like does runway model and stuff, and like has a whole bunch of like implants on his face and does bone smashing to make his jaw bigger and leg extensions and steroids and all that. Like, to me, that's a little gay, you know. Nothing's wrong with that, but I mean, like, and then Nick and all these people are like popping for this clavicular guy, and it's like, yeah, y'all can shut up about this guy because he's truly irrelevant. I know he says controversial and funny stuff too. I don't really care though. And you guys are just like marking and popping for this guy way too much. I mean, you're NJF and you got millions of people and millions of dollars, and you want to pop for this guy just so that you can advocate for this ideal that the alpha male is the winner. The alpha male is what it's all about. Well, I mean, in cruel reality, when it comes to breeding and social shit, yeah, that may be true. But not everyone wants to live their life in the limelight. So the peasantry, the fucking peons, the pawns in chess, if you will, the peons, what it comes from, the peasants, the paisans, they deserve a life too. And guys like him were running around. He's a catho cuck too, and it's like the number one thing in Catholicism is that sewer slide is the definitely the thing you do not want to do. That's the unforgivable, or one of the unforgivables. And he's out here saying, no, you all need to go sewer slide your fucking selves because you're not alpha Chad. And it's like, yeah, okay. In some cruel reality, I get the black pill like logic behind that. It's brutal, but I understand it. It makes there's theory behind it, not for the people doing that to themselves, but there's theory behind like the alpha wins, the alpha gets to breed, the alpha gets selected for the genetics to be passed on. Big fucking deal. Okay, that's natural and shit. But then when you're out here popping for it like a little fucking 12-year-old girl, it gets a little cringe. And then you have fucking Brett Cooper. She can't hide it, you know. She can't hide it. And okay, that's fine. And then you have NJF doing it. That's cringe. And then you have, let's move on to Isabella fucking Moody. Yeah. Isabella Moody. She adopted one of my sayings recently. It involved sand and it involved chimps. Let's just put it at that. And she adopted that phrase. And then I said in her chat, I'm so glad that you adopted it. And her little twink ass fucking boyfriend, who's not her real husband in real life, by the way. It's her twink boyfriend. And he's now got his second baby in there. Allegedly, it's his. Who knows? Maybe he should get DNA tests. I've seen girls like her before. The facial expressions, the vibe of the person overall. You know, people play these archetype characters sometimes. She fits in perfectly into a certain slot. What I've seen, maybe I've met 5 or 10 of that woman in my life that plays that role. And yeah, not really coach as far as like lifelong commitment type situations and stuff. But she got her hubby while a month or two pregs to take her on some long road trip to go meet up and be at the place where Clavicular was going to be. And then she like gets around him and she pops like a 16-year-old girl in the third row at a Beatles concert during the fucking Ed Sullivan taping. Okay. Like passing out, vomiting, shitting herself, like blushing hard. And it's super cringe. And then there's her boyfriend, husband, whatever the fuck he is, and he's like no more than 5'2", 5'3" max. And there's nothing wrong with that, you know, but he's there with his camera and he's taking all these pictures with her while she pops. Man, that was sad. And this is a young couple. And then, but once you saw all that, it all like made sense. And you realize who she is and that she was cool at first. I was impressed by her, the fact that this girl would come out here and say the things she says on her YouTube videos and her live streams. But now I see the bigger picture and it's cringe and they claim to be Christian. And she's sitting there taking it on the chin from the crowd or from the live stream people who are like telling her, hey, you're cucking your man for Clav right in front of your man. You're cucking your man, the father of your children. And then she calls him a cuck, and he gets pissed off at her. And then, man, it was rather disgusting. It was brutal. But they're young. And the funny thing is that one day they're all going to look back and laugh. They're both going to look back at themselves once they've separated, because obviously they're not going to stay together. And they'll both separately look back and laugh at their old selves. And not just about Clav situation. Other than that, you got Matt Walsh. All these people are Catho cucks, okay? You got Matt Walsh, okay? Fucking clown shit. Bro, he works for the entity, okay? He's literally fucking Baal up in this, okay? Team fucking Baal. And then Benny Johnson, okay? There's been accusations about him being exposed, making out with this dude, that dude at these conventions and all this stuff. But, there's nothing wrong with that, of course, disclaimer. But, yeah, so there's that. And then last but not least, the last person I want to talk about, Lily Gaddis. She's famous for saying the N-bomb during like fake trad wife cooking videos. Turns out that shit's all fake. She's just a brutal tomboy who wears jeans and big oversized t-shirts and has a bunch of older brothers and shoots guns and doesn't probably even shoot guns. She probably just sits around her house most of the time watching Netflix, just bumming it. And then she's rich as hell because she goes on these vacations and she makes these weird flex videos where she, talks about best French cigarettes. And then she goes on trips to Hawaii and all this shit. It's like, okay, so you're rich and you don't do anything and you're a single mom and you take your weird son around to Thailand and France with you and try to flex and stuff. And it's, over time she became a parody of herself too. And it's just grim. There's just really nobody. There's other guys who feed off Nick. And then I found a guy who just straight up shows the entire show. So I just watched that because I don't need anyone's fucking interpretations to hear Nick J. Fuentes' fucking crap come out of his mouth, So I just listened to the show directly for free. And fucking Benny gets annoying. Exactly. To it, yeah. Zero Infinity Live talking about, that was disgusting. I guess you saw the whole thing with the Isabella Moody shit. Yeah. Satanist Xeon fucking tologists that are blackmailing Trump into committing international suicide in Iran. Yep. Yeah, I know. It's so apparent now that it's a trend in social media. And it's like, I don't think anything's really going to stop it. But in the meantime, I have found 3 good channels. Well, found 2. And then Red Ice. Red Ice is actually back on YouTube. And they are the OGs. And they were a conspiracy channel. And they switched over to this subject. And they did it a long ass time ago. A long time before anybody else wanted to. I don't know if anyone else really even has on a mainstream level. Or on a not mainstream level. On the like within like the flat earth type community. Nobody has except for me. And I'm nobody in that, as we all know. Okay. And then there's an AI channel called Jake GTV. It's good as fuck. Found it by accident. Jake GTV. All one thing. And then there's another guy who's awesome as hell. His name is Wally Rashid. And he's an American Palestinian guy. And he does nothing but news coverage of a specific topic. And he's super in depth with it. He comes out with about 5-10 minute long videos a day. He does live streams. He does interviews. He has key guests. He had the woman who was kicked off of the Religious Freedom Council. He had her on his show. And he's a channel that's no bigger than mine for the longest time. Now he's finally growing. But he does real, legitimate commentary and investigative journalism and coverage of a very specific topic. His name is Zero Infinity Live, says JGTV is the fucking best. Exactly. Seriously. And it's real. Let me see here. Nah, Jake GTV is really well fucking done. The guy actually thinks about his programming. It's a lot better than WLN. Nothing was learned. WLN. That's good too. But Jake GTV is that on steroids, and the videos are 10, 12, 15 minutes long, and they're way better content in them. But yeah, so it is hard to watch yourself back. It's super cringe to watch yourself back doing this stuff, guys. I mean, like I'm coming up on my 10-year anniversary in about 9 months from now. I'm coming up on my 10-year live streaming anniversary. I've taken years off at a time, I'll admit it, but I'm still here, you know? So I hear these talking heads in the scene. They talk about, America first. It's not even America first. It's America only? Nah, it's not even America only. Is it Christian American only? Nope. Is it? It's white Christian only. No, I'm just kidding, guys. No, it's Christian only. But I mean, that needs to be the goal. And Jed used to say, hey, VB, you're fucking 5 years ahead of your time. He said that last time I was on a show like a year ago, whatever it was. But the thing is, guys, it's not a big deal to be ahead of your time, because somehow I've pulled that off. Okay. And what it is that you have to think. You have to sit down and think for extended periods of time. You have to sacrifice hours and days of your life staring at a freaking wall and thinking hard because you choose to. Okay. You have to think everything through to its logical conclusion. And if you do that, you'll understand things the way they are, and you'll be years ahead of your time. And you'll be cynical. You'll be dark. But it's called sitting and thinking for extended periods of time. And, you can be a pussy and say to yourself, I get anxiety when I overthink things. But, and I heard someone at my job say that too. And she also happens to be a practicing W-itch. You know what I'm saying? And like, I'm just thinking to myself, well, first off, my initial thing was like, well, you got demons. Duh. But then it's like, okay, even if you weren't like that, because there's other people there that say the same thing. And I'm just like, yeah, but if you were able to, I guess I'm too far advanced or whatever it may be, but it's like, if you actually abandon your life and your well-being to the hands of Jesus Christ, like, who do you have to be anxious about at that point? Who? Like, what fucking human sack of shit do you care that much about? Like, that you have to impress them? Because trust me, that person is trash. Zero Infinity Life says, exactly. America first, middle, last, and only. Okay, yeah, okay. That makes sense. I threw my little thing in there. But that's just because of culture and like cleanliness and ease of life and birthright. Hours spent on the earth experiencing life in a certain way. There's a birthright to that. You shouldn't have to be surrounded by those who want you dead. I feel it's a birthright, and everyone should have that freedom. So time to leave people alone. And that's why I throw that in there. I know you guys don't like it, but too bad, so fucking sad. All right. So, Jesus Christ saves you from all anxiety. If you're true with it, if you truly believe, then seriously, you don't have anxiety. Anxiety is a thing of the past when you understand the big picture and you understand Jesus. The only thing you need to be worrying about is Jesus. And if you really sit there and you take that very thought that I just presented and you follow it through to its logical conclusion, if you were to still have anxiety like all the time, okay, once in a while, whatever, and it should be less and less and less, but if you still have it all the time, then essentially you're a fucking antichrist because you don't believe in Jesus. That makes you, so if you're sitting around always anxious, always nervous, your heart is in a place of evil. You're an antichrist. Otherwise, you'd know better. Maybe I should go live more often. I think I have to. I think I'm obligated to because I plan on doing a 10-year live stream. God willing. You know the dream, guys. I get to live the dream. I have Jed on all the time. I loved having Timmy on. The dream, the real dream would not only be Daniel Pratt as my guest on Live Validation Boy live stream, okay? Even beyond that, the dream would be Validation Boy live stream featuring Daniel Pratt and the real Tim Osmond and Jed Skeptic Media. Or if Jed didn't want to participate because of the fireworks and amazingness that we could make happen with Dan and Tim, I want to bring things together. There should be no animosity. I want to be that bridge. Two essential geniuses in different ways. Both geniuses in my eyes, in my book. Geniuses. It'll never happen. It'll never fucking happen, man. You know that twit? It's never gonna fucking happen, guys. Oh man. It's never gonna fucking happen. I'll come back soon. I'll do more shows. We've got 11 people in here. Never say never, right, Twit? Man, Twit. If I could get Twit on with Timmy live, that'd be a dream show. Dan Pratt is making videos lately. He's resurrected. Rising from the ashes. Because he got burnt out on it just like me. When you piss into the wind, you shout into the fucking abyss, you know? I'm so glad that you guys watch. And over time, you know, eventually other people do watch my stuff. And I'm going to tag some of the names I was talking shit about earlier in here. Make them watch this. All praise Jesus Christ. It's been a true blessing and an honor having you guys in here joining me. Keep it short. Keep it sweet. This has been Validation Boy live stream, February 26th, 2026. Hold on. First 5 in the live. In at number 1, What's Truth Recovery? In at number 2, Phalanx 3478. In at number 3, but essentially in at number 1, Twit times 2007. In at number 4, Into the Break. And in at number 5, Zero Infinity Live. You guys are legends.